Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Collector, and welcome to my Nerd Cave. I had another weekend where I went out and bought stuff. This time was a nerd rummage sale. And we actually did better than last time we traveled to Huntsville last week, which was the Huntsville Flea, which wound up being a bust. This time it was just all nerdy stuff, plushies, games, toys, stuff like that. And I wound up walking away with a bunch of games. In hindsight, the second to last booth we stopped at was one that I really wish I had stopped at first and paid more attention while I was going through their stuff, because it was when we were about to leave and I was running low on money that I saw some heavy hitters for decent prices. I'm like, I really wish I'd grabbed those instead, but it's whatever. No regrets on what I did get, because I did check some boxes. I also ran into my coworker who told me that this was happening this weekend. I'd actually been to this a couple years ago, and it wasn't nearly as impressive then. So this time, I think I actually did alright. So, we're going to go into some of this stuff. And some of this stuff is actually just upgrades. Like Taz Escape from Mars for the Genesis. One of my childhood favorites. Game I played all the time as a kid. I had the cart only, but this is complete in box. As well as for the Genesis, and this is also an upgrade. Mrs. Pac-Man, complete in box. And I'm a sucker for the cardboard boxes. Genesis games. I think that's really cool. This is different from the clamshell, you know. And for the NES, complete is Star Tropics, and yet we did make sure that it included the letter that's supposed to be in it from the protagonist's uncle, because there's a section in the game where you can't progress until you take that paper and put a little bit of water on it to give you a code or a message or something. I'm obviously not going to do that with a 30-year-old piece of paper. If I get to that point, I am going to just Google. But I needed to make sure that it had that as along with the manual in the box. So for the NES, I got Star Tropics. And now I need to get Zorda's Revenge, Star Tropics 2. Also picked up, this one came from the same booth as Star Tropics. Razor Scooter. Freestyle scooter for the N64. This was the booth that I wound up seeing some other stuff that I really wish I'd grabbed, but Freestyle Scooter was an N64 game that I did not have. A couple of those other games were N64 games that I kind of wish I'd grabbed because they were a decent price, but anyway. Take the sticker off of that. This one's also an upgrade. Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories. This one I actually don't own. So, Monster Hunter 2 Freedom for the PSP. Those are both the PSP games. I don't know, I've kind of been wanting to give the PSP a little bit of love lately. So here we got some original Xbox games. A lot of these are Blockbuster exclusive games, and that's a big reason that I went ahead and just grabbed them, especially since they were cheap. So, plus I've obviously been going for the Xbox exclusive collection. So I got Outlaw Golf, 9 Holes of Christmas. Outlaw Volleyball, Red Hot. Then I went ahead and grabbed Dragon's Lair 3D. Return to the Lair. So that's kind of cool. Don Bluth being behind the Dragon's Lair games is awesome. And this one is also a Blockbuster exclusive, so I went ahead and grabbed it too. Freestyle, Street Soccer. I don't know. It's nostalgic to see Blockbuster exclusive. Plus, you never know, like, the Blockbuster exclusives. Who knows what's going to happen with rarity on them. Then these 3 PS4 games came from the last booth that we went to, and they were all $10 a piece, which was surprising for a couple of these. So Cyberpunk 2077, me and my girlfriend were both eyeballing that one, so I went ahead and snagged it. So yeah, that's dope. One that's been on my list to get for a while, Horizon Zero Dawn. I wanted to check that out. It's robot dinosaurs. And this one was the one that surprised me because I never see it for less than maybe 30. So to get it for $10, and still sealed, is the Spider-Man game for PS4. Now I just need Miles Morales and Spider-Man 2, but that one's probably going to take me forever to actually beat, especially if I get lost or anything like I do in open world games. But anyway, so I think that was like 13 games. Like I said, nothing that I regret getting. There were stuff that I may have wished I grabbed instead of these, But again, you know, hindsight's 2020, and there will be other sales. I will find more stuff eventually. So, but stoked that this trip to Huntsville wound up being better than the last one. Good God, I'm looking raggedy. I need to trim and shower. Anyway, but that's all I got for this one. I've been the Nostalgia Collector. Remember, physical media will never die, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye-bye.